Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the Tarot Collective for today. It's Friday, November 14th, 2025. You may follow me on the Attack the Tube. Oh, that's weird. My blog, or not, totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't, leave it on the table for someone else. Don't take on energy that wasn't meant for you. Nobody wants that for you. We're going to use Heartbreak Tarot by Hattie Thorne. You can find this and all of her decks at hattiethorne.com. She also has an Etsy shop. And y'all know I love me some Hattie Thorne. Hattie Thorne. All right, I'll calm down now. We got one on the table. What is it, bub? You were quiet during the other reading. You didn't make no noises. Now you're making noises? Huh? What's up? You want me to open the door? I can let you out. It's not a big deal. All right, we got two on the table. We got two on the table, one major. Three on the table, one major. Okay. This was literally bottom of the deck when I pulled the deck out. Four on the table. We're going to do two more shuffles. We got some page energy going on here. Last shuffle, last shuffle, last shuffle. Five on the table. Six with bottom of the deck. Oh, look at that. We got six with bottom of the deck. Two major. Look at this. We got two major, two pentacles, and two swords. What are you doing, bub? You okay? You happy? Do you eat some of that food? It's good for your kidneys. I know. And drinking water. You got to drink plenty of water. All right. We got King of Pentacles. We've got the Magician. Page of Swords, like I said. Well, I said watching from a distance because when I saw this on the bottom of the deck, that is what caught my eye. Page of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. And bottom of the card, bottom of the deck, bottom of the card, bottom of the deck, Death. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. So someone could definitely be watching someone from a distance. Somebody could be watching you from a distance. Take how it resonates for you. However, I'm going to say this. I feel like somebody is watching somebody from a distance because there was some type of missed opportunity, okay? And that's not to say said person watching from a distance missed out on an opportunity that was fabulous. They technically could have missed out on an opportunity that they were meant to miss out on for some reason. I'm just saying that I feel like somebody is watching from a distance something that passed them by. Or they passed it by, or they passed a person by, right? I'm just going to say this. Whoever this person is, they know their self-worth. They know how to hold on to their energy, their power. This is not somebody that shares of themselves with every single person that they meet and see. Ooh, pardon me, that was weird. My elbow slipped off the table. This independent person could be watching this person that they missed out on. They might have had a great love for this person, great affection for this person, but at the end of the day, like they have to change, they have to chase their own dreams, their own calling. And they might have been called to go in a different direction for a different opportunity, a new foundation, building something for themselves. Because with the death card in this reading, to me, it's just giving me a lot of growth, what did I want to say? Transition and translation. I mean, transformation. I'm just going to give this as an example, and it's not, I mean, you can take how it resonates for you. I'm just going to give as an example. Let's say somebody works, right? And they fall in love with somebody at work. It doesn't work out. Like they're just friends. Nothing ever comes of the connection. This person watches that person closely. Like, oh, like why weren't we together? Blah blah blah. This person applies for a new job, a new position, decides to sell their home and move to another home, move to another town, move to another state. They pick up their roots and they leave for whatever reason to follow their path, basically, whatever that means for them. They're going to be watching this person fondly. It's not like a hate, like, oh, you dumped me, or oh, you overlooked me, or anything like that. Even if there was some of that in the past, okay, that's not the energy that's present here right now. Take how that resonates for you, okay? But this would be somebody like moving on, leaving that work situation behind, leaving that person that they used to think they were in love with, moving on, and then kind of looking back and, oh, look at them. They're still there. Oh, they got married. Oh, they had 2 kids. Oh, or maybe they didn't, right? It's just someone looking back and being like, did I really miss out on that? Was it meant for me? Kind of like being able to recognize, like, even though maybe that's what they wanted at the time, the fact that that's not, sorry, my ear has been really weird. It's swollen. And I feel for like no reason. Anyway, they're just looking back on this person fondly. They were looking back on the work fondly. But they're moving in a new direction. They're choosing a new path. They're ending one cycle and starting a new cycle, right? Growth, abundance, transformation, transitioning to a new life, It's actually really positive. And I think, sorry, my phone keeps doing, okay, my phone keeps giving me alerts for the video cameras, but I don't need them because I'm here. All right. Just wanted to get rid of that. So it gives off a really positive energy. I really like it. And I can say, like I was going to say, like, who hasn't looked on a person from the past? Now, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago about looking at the ex-best friend. If you follow, if you subscribe, I looked at her Facebook page, like, I think it was like I want to say like January, February, because I think like I saw something with Valentine's on there. I think. I have not looked at her Facebook since, nor will I. And I feel like every time I look, the next time I look, there's more and more space in between that next time. Because I remember I stopped talking to her at the end of 2022. I probably looked at her stuff like late spring of 2023. Again, like end of summer 2023. Then beginning of 2024. Then like either the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, somewhere in there. So like every time I look, the distance gets greater and greater, which to me is only a good thing because, as I've said before, I no longer wish her any ill will. I wish for her happiness and healing. I just don't want her back in my life. I have no interest in that. And I don't really feel like I need to look at her Facebook page. First off, there's not a lot of information on there. The only thing that would really be on there is like an updated picture. And I know what she looks like. Like I have that memory in my head, implanted in my head. I'm good. I don't need to see something new, you know? But even in that situation, like I can look back on the memories fondly, on the good memories fondly, you know? Take how it resonates for you, but this is very much somebody looking at another person with fondness and love, but knowing they're still going to move on anyway, if that makes sense. I like it. I like it. It's very honest. And that's why I said, like, don't pretend like you've never looked at a past person's social media or you asked your cousin, hey, what happened to Billy Bob? Do you have any information about them? You know, like, don't pretend like you've never done that. We've all done that. We've all done that. Those of us that are extra curious have probably done it more often than not. And I heard another reader, he's one of my favorites. I was talking about him today, and I think said I was going to post for you guys today, but I didn't post it. I'll post it when I'm done with this. He had said that if you're trolling, if you're looking at your past person's social media, trying to keep tabs on them, then that means that like you're not done with the connection. And if you're in a current relationship with someone else, then you're cheating on them with a past person. And why do you feel like you need to watch a past person? Like once it's done, it should be done. I understand what he's saying. I can agree with it on one level, but then on another level, like we're all human, right? We're all human. Like just because I don't date Jack anymore doesn't mean in 5 years I'm not going to be like, hey, I wonder whatever happened to Jack. Just because I go and I look at his page, it doesn't mean like I'm still interested in them. I still want to date them. Why did they marry someone else? That's not necessarily what that means. And we are allowed to have the feelings that we have as humans. We are allowed to go through those motions. So I'm just saying, like on one hand, I agree with him. On the other hand, I don't. Someone else's opinion is not going to stop me from looking at somebody's social media anyway. Only I'm going to stop me from doing that, right? Like when you're done, you're done. When you lose interest, you lose interest, you know? Sometimes it takes longer than the last. Sometimes it's easier than the last, you know? It all just is what it is. And like I said, I understand where the other reader's coming from. I get it. But at the same time, like, I'm a healing individual. Let me heal. And let me heal the way I need to heal. You know? I just don't think that's something. I think it's something to be discussed. And like if you do that, if you follow an ex on social media, even though you're not together, it's individualized. It's for you to come to the conclusion for yourself on how all of that makes you feel. I don't think there should be any judgment there on, like, oh, you still watch your ex-husband on Instagram? Well, why do you do that? They left you for another woman. Well, maybe you're over it, but maybe, I mean, if you're talking somebody that you spent years of your life with and you guys divorce and they get together with another person and you go back and watch their social media, I mean, maybe you're just curious what happened to them, right? Because odds are you probably don't keep in contact with them unless you have kids. And nowadays, a lot of people aren't having kids. So, and like I said, I've watched past people before. I'm not currently watching anybody now. And my past people that are more current, like, I don't really feel the need to do that anyhow. And I think the reason why I kept going back every so often to look at the ex-best friend is because I was hoping to get the vibe. I was hoping to get that feeling like, oh, she's healing. She's becoming human again. She's not evil. Like, I was hoping to get the vibe. And I mean, I never got any vibe, but whatever. It is what it is. I went and looked at her page a few times. Oh, well, now I have no desire. Anywho, enough of that rant. I ranted on the last video too for like 15 minutes. I like this. I like it. It's good. And like I said, it's kind of like an honest conversation about relationships and how to move on from a relationship when it's over. And this doesn't even technically need to be romantic, right? Like, this could be like a one-sided relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be just a coworker. I mean, whatever. To me, because of the Page of Wands, like, there's some type of sexual energy there, possibly some type of love energy. So it kind of gives like an actual relationship, but I mean, you can also love your friends and your family too. So, but yeah, it's good. I like it. And I don't know, I keep going back to honest. Like, it's such an honest read about like human behavior and all that jazz. Like, I like it. Cuz again, I don't think there should be any judgments on the way people heal and how long it takes them to heal. And you know, watching somebody could possibly be part of that. And it's not for anybody to judge or to critique or, anything like that. So I like it. It's good. And I love this death card because I don't know. Pardon me. I just love it. All right. I'm gonna leave it there. I hope it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope you all had a great Friday. I hope you all have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.